Yo, OC with you on the original OC channel. It is Monday, May 12th, 2025. What's up, guys? Had a great auction stream this morning. For those of you who haven't had a chance to check it out, we had some amazing results from the Sotheby's. Actually, the Christie's auction. There were 4 or 5 auctions this weekend. We had Phillips 2 days, Sotheby's, Antiquorum, and today was Christie's. Over 180 lots. 180 lots auctioned off. And there were, by the way, if anybody, I'll drop the link to the auction in the chat. That's what I'll do. And if there are any watches that you want pulled up and discussed, let me know. Here we go. Christie's. Boom. There's the link. Click on that link. You'll see all the results. The results are in Swiss francs, and they include the 26% buyer's premium. If you want to convert the Swiss francs into dollars, just multiply by 1.2, add 20% on top. And that's also not inclusive of tariffs, customs, or local taxes. So keep that in mind. But let's see who we have in the chat. Logan Hall is first. Logan Hall, star of Logan Hall's Grill Streams, who's also a member of the original OC channel. He says, beige. Beige. Colors could be the color of the year. Maybe lavender. Maybe the lavender OP will be the color of the year. Or maybe pistachio. Got Andy Lewis in the chat, also a member of the original OC channel. Thank you. What's up, Andy? Got Skip Intro in the chat. Hello, OC and all. What's up, Skip Intro? Skip Intro is also a member. Middle Class Guy, a member. Good evening. What's up, Constance? Good to see you in the chat as always. If you want to hop on the panel, the link is pinned at the top of the chat. And quick reminder, like the live stream. That's right. Hit the upvote button. If you're a member, by the way, don't forget to click on the currency icon, the dollar bill. If you're in the United States, next to the comments, you may have a free super chat. So use up your free super chats, guys. And don't forget about the free member emojis. Goldfinger 0808 is in the chat. What's up, Goldfinger? Got Julius Caesar. Julius is a member. If you have a star next to your name, you're a member. Congratulations. Julius Caesar says, good evening. If there is a particular lot that you want us to highlight, let me know in the chat. By the way, this Richard Mille Ferrari, which retails for $1.88 million, sold at auction for, here is the price, 756,000 Swiss francs. So this, the price of that in Swiss francs, I believe the list price is 1.5 million Swiss francs, and it sold at auction for 756,000 Swiss francs. Yikes! Yikes! Now, in Richard Mille's defense, this watch is polarizing, and it's not very flattering on the wrist, and It's also super, super, super expensive. So, hey, here we go. Excellent use of the free super chat. Thank you, Skip Intro. It looks terrible on the screen there in the banner, but in the chat, it looks phenomenal. We got the use of the Omega emoji. You got Ferrari, the Kiss Army, McDonald's, Rolex, Porsche AP, Patek Philippe, and many others. So congratulations, Skip Intro. Member for 1 month. It seems like longer. It seems like you've been a member for longer, but thank you for being a member. Really, really, really appreciate it. And we also have another member, GYG is in the chat, the ghost of Yiddish Gambino. What's up, watch people? Yeah, I saw Yiddish Gambino was in the auction chat this morning. We ran a 5-hour auction stream covering these results in real time, live. And Gambino was one of the guys in the chat providing insights and commentary. I got pretty bad Wi-Fi. Bad Wi-Fi tonight. We got the family streaming movies, streaming all over the house. So if I freeze up for a little bit, my apologies. Skip Intro says, yes, proud member. Thank you very much. Danny Govberg says Ghost of Yiddish Gambino hurled himself out a window with the Debatoon results. Yeah, there was an interesting stretch of lots, like 10 lots in a row that were all Debatoons, and they all were hideous. And they were absolutely hideous, and they didn't perform very well. They just did not perform well. I will not be covering any unless someone super chats. If someone does a highlighted comment, then I will pull it up. But you have to provide the lot number. Provide the lot number in your highlighted comment, and I'll pull it up. But I don't. Otherwise, I will not ever be pulling up a Debatoon voluntarily. We've got Bamal who says, get Starlink, OC. I mean, I've got Xfinity, which is like similar to Starlink, but more expensive. No, but I have 1 bar. I have 1 bar out of 3 bars. Maybe it's 1 bar out of 4 bars. Not quite sure. Logan Hall, member for 9 months. Towards the upgraded Wi-Fi package. Actually, it's going to go towards StreamYard. But thank you very much, Logan. By the way, you guys are all subscribed to Logan Hall's Grill Streams. Make sure you're subscribed. I'll super chat to prevent Debatoon from coming. Thank you. If someone highlights a comment or super chats for Debatoon, I implore Yiddish Gambino to promptly super chat in response. A counter chat. Hey, Gatsby, member for 9 months, and Gatsby is such an amazing supporter. He's a member at the campaign senior advisor level. Okay, now just to explain, I think there are only 4 people. I'm very transparent. Like everybody who's a member here, your membership dues go to pay for the StreamYard software that powers the live streams, which is like I think it's $200 a month. So it's like I'm very transparent about that. I don't make any money on this channel. So, but Gatsby is one of 4, and we have 61 members. We have 61 members here who fund this channel, and Gatsby is one of 4 members that's at the campaign senior advisor level. I don't even want to tell you how much that is per month, but it's It's like I think it's like 400 a month. Gatsby's amazing. Hey OC, the real Richard Mille story is the Nadal. That's right, the 2701 that went for the bottom of the forecast range. It's true. It went for 1 million Swiss francs. Actually, not $1 million. It went for 1 million Swiss francs, and the range was 1 to 2 million. And the auction did end after only 2 bids. It was a awkward scene in the auction house as the auctioneer was begging for an opening bid, and basically I believe took like a commission bid in order to kind of save face. And just like it may not have even been a real bid. Who knows? The kind of shenanigans that they play there. So yeah, it took an opening bid for £1 million, £1 million francs, and then the auction ended. So yeah, it was brutal. But Boston Collector, if he were here, he would defend it and say, "Listen, that's still double retail. That's still a watch that probably sells for 500,000 list and sold for double retail." So there's a silver lining to every story. But good comment, Gatsby. As a matter of fact, in a rare bit of actual production value, I'll actually pull it up. There you go. This is it. An exceptional and extremely rare white quartz TPT. That's the white. It's like ceramic, but it's they call it quartz TPT. And it's a 2701 Nadal, and it sold for, it's super small to see. Make it bigger. All in with the fees, 1.255 million Swiss francs, which in US dollars, it comes out to about $1.5 million. So actually, it's not that bad. It could have been better. But listen, after today, I think RMs clearly are, I'm not going to say a downward spiral, but it didn't look good for RM today. It just didn't look good. It was a combination of having this watch and the Ferrari, and it was kind of a bad 1-2 punch. If I were them, I'd quickly do something like throw a couple other models into some other auctions. So thank you very, very much. Logan dropping his link for his channel, which you should be subscribed anyway. So yes, hours and hours of herb chopping, including cilantro. Hey, got Mathis in the chat. What's up, Mathis? Seek help. Mathis is a member. Thank you for being a member. That's one of the best Richard Mille references, says Gatsby. Very slim and wearable for an RM. Yeah, and it's got some cool stuff visually going on in the case. There's skeletonized. You can see what's going on under the hood there. Ghost of Yiddish Gambino agrees. Bloom off the rose for Richard Mille and de Bethune. Big winners were Breguet and FP Journe. I think FP Journe was a big winner. I also think Patek Philippe was a big winner. And I also think Daniel Roth was a big winner. I think the more those Daniel Roths with the tourbillons and those retrograde things, whatever they call those, the more of those that are there that come to auction, the better. Let me see if I can find one here. So many FP Journes and Pateks in this auction. I mean, over 180 lots, I think, at least a third of them were just Patek and FP Journe. Let's see here if I can find a good looking. Why am I even thinking about pulling up Daniel Roth? You guys should be like asking me to pull up like the best performing Patek Philippe Nautiluses and the best performing Journes. And there was also a Cartier Tour 2 minute repeater that sold in this auction. Are you guys paying attention? There's a whole watch industry going on out there. Yeah, it was a very good auction. Too many debutants, but other than that, and a lot of ugly ones too. A lot of ugly debutants, but they had some good. They had some good, even some good longas. A lot of good longas too. By the way, Gerald Charles is not Daniel Roth. Do not be confused. Do not ever click on Gerald Charles and in any way equate that with Daniel Roth. Let's see. I can't even find it. I guess I could have searched. I could have used the search function. But there's some there was some good stuff, which I'm surfing in the background, not showing you what I'm doing. Maybe I should show you. Oh, by the way, check this out. This is actually a pretty good price for this. White gold King Midas. And this is the original reference, the 9630. This is serial number or numbered edition 102 from 1961. Sold for 75,600 Swiss francs. It's a good price, but it's also a great piece of history. The Midases are coming up. The Midases are doing well. That's a good number. But it's white gold. This is super rare. This is super rare. Hey, we got McAllen Drinker in the chat, member of the OC channel. Good evening, OC. Checking in from Exit 8 tonight, as usual. What's Exit 8? Oh, I know Exit 8. Exit 8 is a bar. I've heard of it. I think it's a club. Is it a club? Yep. I think it is. Andy Lewis says, put Richard Mille on the list of prior authorization needed. Yeah. I think at the beginning of the, like when Watches and Wonders came out, when we saw the new releases from Patek and Rolex, I said kind of in jest, Rolex and Patek were pulling away from the rest of the pack and leaving AP and Richard Mille and everybody else behind. And I think that's what's actually happening. I think Rolex and Patek are just the only two left. No, I will not. I apologize for even mentioning them. I'm sorry. Hey, Dr. Ellam's in the chat. Cheers, OC. Hard to beat the vibe of those vintage Daytonas. Yeah, there were some good vintage Daytonas too. I mean, some of them were kind of cheap. Now, I don't know. Listen, I'm not an expert on vintage. I'm not not Menta watches. But I did see quite a few Daytonas that I liked, and I'm going to pull them up now. You tell me if I'll pull up two at least, and you tell me what you think of these two. Well, I'll pull this one up too. It's kind of it's a modern one. I'll pull that one up first. Okay, so we got the modern one. This is the modern last generation platinum Daytona with the diamond baguette indices. This hammered and fees were added, and the total was basically 120,000 Swiss francs. It comes out to about 145,000 US dollars, 145,000, which is absolutely ridiculous. 145,000 for this is absolutely ridiculous. It's probably $35,000 over market. I mean, it's just a ridiculous price. I don't know why someone would pay so much over market price to get this watch. This is the old reference. It was one of the last ones. And you can get this, I'm pretty sure, for about 110,000 easily, maybe even less than 110. And it's sold here for about 145,000 US. Hey, got Evan G in the chat. Evan G's a member. Gerald Roth is not Daniel Charles, correct? Hey, got Keslowitz in the chat. Greetings, watch people. Got Mike Lewis in the chat. Daniel Roth is owned by Bulgari, not to be confused with Bulgari, which is a totally different company. Bulgari and Bulgari are similarly spelled, but pronounced completely differently. And then there's this one. Check this out. So this is a 6239. I don't even know what this, I don't even know what that means. And I don't know, whatever. But look at the price. $44,000 Swiss francs, which is about something. Jonathan Smith's in the chat. Oh, he's doing the Monday watch roundup. Yeah, I'm doing the auction roundup. I also want to talk about the Oyster Perpetuals pretty soon too. Johnny O, member of the OC channels in the chat. What's up, Johnny O? Holy shit, there's 40 people watching. Guys, upload the live stream. Should have at least 25 likes. Let me see if you guys are behind or not. Yep, you're way behind. Way behind. You're 20. Okay, you're at 22. Okay, get to 25 likes, guys. Get to 25. Much appreciated. And then there's also this one, which I think is just a banger of a piece. I think this one is sexy AF. Boom. I love this one. Does it look like an Omega Speedmaster? Yes. But I love the look at this watch. This is probably my favorite. This is the 6263. Also, there's a 6265 as well. This, to me, actually, like, my dream would be getting a 1987, but this is really, really close. 1985. This is the Daytona Big Red. This is right before they switched to the new case and the Zenith movement. And it sold for 82,000 Swiss francs, which is about close to about 100,000 US dollars, 100,000 US dollars. That's a lot of money, yeah, but you go in, that watch is sexy. Love it. What do you guys think of this one? Pretty good, huh? Let me know. Ghost of Vidish Gambino says, I don't get why anybody would pay this for a Daytona. They sell on secondary for under 100. Yeah, no, exactly. It's like the Platinum Daytona. What were they? They're paying 145,000. Just don't get it. And yep, I don't get it. Jonathan Smith reminding everybody to upvote. Thank you, Jonathan Smith. The two gem set AP Piece Uniques achieved amazing results today. Yes, they did. Let's see if we can find those bad boys. Thanks for bringing it up. There were two. One was, I believe, rubies, and one was emeralds, and they were back to back. Now, you guys may think these are a little ugly. Okay, you may not be your cup of tea. Get it? I get it. But yeah, what do you think of this? They're ugly. They're ugly. This is a skeletonized perpetual calendar, and then it's just loaded with emeralds, and it sold for, let's just say, in US dollars, it was around $710,000. 710,000 for this one. Let me move myself here. Boom. By the way, I'm not even wearing a watch tonight. Nope. No watch. Watch is I left it in the kitchen. But no watch tonight. I should keep a watch like right here, just in case, but don't need to. Andy Lewis says, actually, Vimal says, OC, there were a lot of pieces that were baffling. Who buys a black dial steel Daytona from Christie's? That's right. There was just a brand new 126500 black dial Daytona that easily sells for $27,000, all day long. And someone paid 37,800, I think, or like 39, 38,000. So like they're basically 38,000 for a $27,000 watch. I just, it's mind boggling to me. So here's the emerald one. And then they also have this one, which is rubies. Yeah, rubies. And this one sold for about 450,000 US. 450,000. Expensive. Just a perpetual calendar, skeletonized, and it's got the giant ruby bezel. But I don't know. You tell me. There's something for everybody in this world. Brody's jumping in and says, I wouldn't put much weight on this auction being reflective of the reshare mill market. Only two watches. Fair enough. One of which their most unusual. Yes, right, and one of their highly priced models. Correct. Fair enough. Got Peruka in the chat. What's up, Peruka? Good to see you. Jonathan Smith says the Rolex Submariner date is back from service on the wrist tonight. Congratulations, Jonathan. Glad you got it back. By the way, set your alarms or your calendar or whatever for Friday. We may have a surprise. I'm not going to mention this. I might not mention this again. So, but there may be a surprise unboxing on Friday. And needless to say, it is one of the approved brands. We don't do unboxings from unapproved brands, but I'm pretty sure that this watch has not been unboxed before. I'm pretty sure that it hasn't been unboxed on any live stream ever. So stay tuned. It's probably going to be like an afternoon stream, like Friday around 3:00 Eastern or 4:00 Eastern, something like that. If it happens, but it'll be a good one. So put it in your calendars, guys. Let's see. Now, Are there any other watches that you want discussed from there was there were some other biggies or notable ones. So many notable ones actually. Think about it. Here is the yellow gold Le Mans. Yellow gold Le Mans, which went for around 250,000 US dollars. I think that's probably about 20 or 30,000 over market. I think these are going for around 220,000. Ghost of Future Gambino pays attention to the secondary prices. I think these are between 210 and 230. So this person paid like 250, 245, something like that. Not bad. Hey, that's not that big of a delta to be able to get one with Christie's provenance. And then you had this little bad boy. It looks like the crashes are back. Crashes are back because this one was special order and previously unknown 18 karat white gold crash with the gray dial. And this is a fairly recent one. This is a pretty modern one from 2021 and sold for a whopping 900,000 US dollars. 900,000 US dollars. So someone, as you can look at the estimate was 150 to 250 Swiss francs. It came in at triple the high end of the estimate. By the way, two interesting tidbits from the Phillips auction over the weekend. You guys saw that we did live coverage of the Phillips auction from Geneva. Two lots from the Phillips auction, one on Saturday and one on Sunday, were pulled due to the great detective work of Jose Perez. You know Jose as Perestroika or Periscope on social media. And Periscope discovered that two of the lots at the Phillips auction were not up to snuff. One of them had I'll just call it for what it is, a fake Tiffany & Co. dial. And one of them, I believe, had like a swapped dial or a fake dial. I mean, it's like, and he and Phillips pulled them. Phillips pulled the lots. Shout out to Periscope. Job well done. Bravo. Cool crash. It's expensive crash, that's for sure. Very, very expensive. What were some of the most expensive watches that sold, OC? I know you're clamoring to ask me that question. Well, let's see. I can pull up a few things that were super expensive, even though I don't love them. There was this, an FP Journe Resonance. It sold for about 1 million US dollars. 1 million US dollars. Now, I'm not sure. I guess this is one of those old ones from 2000 with the brass movement. So these are, I guess, highly collectible, highly desirable. And you had this gold Paul Newman And gold Paul Newman sold for 1.2 million US dollars. 1971. This is the look at the description. Daytona Paul Newman John Player Special. It's got everything. All the names wrapped into one. Ghost of Future Gambino asks, is the price realized the hammer price or the hammer price plus the buyer premium? Hammer plus premium. The price realized is hammer plus premium. So it's the hammer plus 26%. And then you add on, then if you want to convert it to dollars, add another 20% on top of that. Then if you want to add local taxes and stuff like that, add another 10%. So you could take whatever this price realized is and jack it up by a third, and it gives you a good ballpark, at least a third. Give you an idea. So this 1 million here is really 1.3 in US dollars, at least. At least. What else? A lot of Pateks, including some old ones. You want to see some old Pateks that sold for a lot of money? Sure you do. Better than looking at Journe, right? Much better than looking at Journe. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at some Pateks, Paul. How about this one? Boom. This is basically a Nautilus, but with the diamond baguette bezel. Boom. Add a third on top of that price realized, and you get to like 425,000 easily. Expensive from 2020, so it's a fairly new model. And what else do we got? We've got this one. Which is a split-second chronograph perpetual calendar. This is also another fairly recent one from 2021. And look at that price there. Ouchie mama, that's close to 500,000. 500,000 US for that. I'm not sure what's the looks. I mean, I would. This doesn't do it for me. Not a big fan. Not a fan. I gotta be totally honest with you. And here we've got the 5711 in the olive green. 5711 in the olive green with the diamond baguettes. Boom. Look at that price. Ouch. This is a steel watch, stainless steel. And went for dang near 500,000 US, 500,000. And then look at this one. You got sealed. It's sealed. It's a 5971P, which is a diamond bezel perpetual calendar chronograph, and sold for about 350,000 US. 350,000. Yeah. Now, back to the topic of the day. Boom. What do you think of these bad boys? Pretty good, I say. If anybody wants to jump on and talk about them, feel free. Otherwise, listen, it's cool. I just wanted to do a short stream anyway. No one wants to chat about them. That's fine. Let me just pull up something here. Someone just sent me something. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on a second. It is relevant to the conversation. Drop it in here. Check this out. This is courtesy of Thomas Burnett. Thank you, Thomas, for sending this over. New Rolex Oyster Perpetual 41 Pistachio for $21,000 on Loop This. Now, I don't like. I don't like to promote these platforms, but okay, so it sold for 21,000. I don't know. I don't know anything about this platform, so I don't even know what that means. Have you guys been seeing these new Oyster Perpetual selling in secondary? And for what price? No, I think I actually like the blue one. They have a new flat blue, which is really, really good. For those of you who haven't seen this, here's a cool chart that shows all of the available colors for all of the different sizes. Feel free to screen capture this. So they have a new black, a new flat black. The silver remains unchanged. Then they have a new lavender. They have the candy pink, remains unchanged. They have the new flat blue, the new pistachio, the new beige, the turquoise blue, which is a carryover, but that's only in 31 and 36. And then you have the green. But as you can see here, there are only 6 colors available in the 41. The 36 is the size that gets everything, everything. You get the lavender, you get the beige, you get the turquoise, you get the pistachio, you get the new blue, the new black, everything. Yeah. See if I can zoom in on this bad boy. Yeah. Yep. Now, what's interesting here, like Peruka in the chat says the double batons at 369 suck. Yeah, I don't love those either. Those are the double batons only appear on the 36 and 41. You know, so if you are a female or a guy with an extremely small wrist who likes ladies' watches, then you can go for the 28, 31, or 34, and all of those have single batons. Single batons. But I've turned down this watch. I turned it down when it first came out in 2020. I turned down the silver, turned down the blue, and just it's the double batons just don't do it for me. They're too heavy. So, but yeah, love the new blue. Will I ask for it? Probably not. Probably not. Which one is your favorite color? Maybe I'll do a poll. What color should I include in the poll? Well, maybe I should include pistachio, beige, and lavender because those are the new ones. But what should be the fourth color? If I could choose, if I had to do a poll with four colors, what would be the fourth color? The blue? Or you guys could just type in the chat what you think your favorite color is. Gatsby says the really cool colors are gone. The coral red, the mustard yellow, and the turquoise blue 41. And don't forget the celebration dial. It's also gone. Nothing more compelling than flat black and beige. Aw. Goes to Vidish Gambino says, LOL, I bought the yellow and the turquoise blue 41 millimeter OPs from my AD. Helped put my oldest kid through college. There you go. Congrats on that. Peruka says beige is really nice. The beige, it's okay. What's it really going to match with? I mean, you know who I would say who would prefer the beige color? Ben Clymer. I bet you Ben Clymer likes the beige. I think people who like Ben Clymer. Beige is like Ben Clymer's color for sure. And Tim Masso would pick the pistachio. Billy says, I had the green 41. I sold it in 6 months. I didn't care. I didn't care for the green color. The new blue is fantastic, says Ghost of Vidish Gambino. Hey, here we go. There's the new name. The new name for it. Beige Climber. We've got it. We got the new name. Andy Lewis comes through. The community knows how to name these pieces. It's the Beige Climber. Peruka reminds us that they used to have an Oyster Perpetual 39, and they did have a white dial Oyster Perpetual 39 that ran for only a year or two, I believe. And that was a phenomenal watch. Yeah. Great watch. I like that one a lot. Billy says sand. I like the sand and the new blue. Maybe beige is sand. That's a good point. That's right. Brody says Buckley and Ben Clymer like beige. Yep, they have very similar tastes. That's what I think. Okay, says Gatsby, sums up this year's OP line perfectly. It's better than okay. I think, remember, these OPs used to be dogs, 8, 9 years ago, and they turned them into a hit in 2020. Got Mr. Tudor to you in the chat. What's up, Mr. Tutor to you? Let's see if there's any news, any watch related news today. Hmm. I don't know. Not really seeing anything. There's some stuff on Instagram. Do you guys like the mob? Because if you're a fan of the mob, you are going to love this. Now, what is this? Now, this is a piece of Mafia memorabilia. This is actually a watch that was owned by gangster Al Capone. This is a platinum and diamond pocket watch. And it was owned by Al Capone in the 1920s. And this is going to be a highlight of a watch auction that's being put on at Sotheby's in New York next month. A platinum timepiece has kind of rich brown at the edge, and it has the mobster's monogram in 90 diamonds. It was previously sold in 2021 for $230,000, which was like 5 times the estimate. It was kind of sold as part of a estate auction. But we'll see. We'll see. Let me show you this picture here. This is the diamonds, 90 diamonds on the back of the watch. It says AC for Al Capone. Got CQ in the chat. What's up, CQ, the watch guy? Are there any interesting results that you want to talk about, CQ, from the auction earlier? From the Christie's auction. Yeah, we had a new rainbow Daytona. Well, actually not new, but fairly recent. 360,000 US. A lot of Journe. Journe was a very big performer. Yeah, I wonder which of these will be the hottest. I think the Lavender, the 36 Lavender is going to be the hottest. Why do they discriminate and not make that Lavender available in 41? I think that'd be a hit. Al Capone. Come on. Who wants a pocket watch owned by Al Capone? Silly. Yep. Let me see what else. What else is happening? Anything else, guys? Nope, nothing. Let me see this picture here. Gotta find it. What did I do with it? Get rid of that. Boom. This. There you go. That's a good picture. It's kind of weird how on the smaller OPs, the links look really, really long. You know, because they're very narrow. Got John Galt in the chat. John Galt says beige is so hot right now. So hot. Got Cloud Ken in the chat. Cloud Ken is reached legendary status in the community. I could never support a tax cheat like Capone. Is that what is that what he got sentenced for? All right. Last chance to join the panel. We'll put up we'll do a 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Let's see here. Someone was just asking a question about the new Oyster Perpetual 41s. And I've shown this picture before, but I'll show it here. Here is the new Oyster Perpetual 41 on top and the old one on the bottom. What's up, CQ? Audio check. And as you can see, several changes here. We can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yep, now we can hear you.
All right, how you doing? Good evening.
Good
sir.
Evening to you too. It's yeah. How's your Monday going?
It was good, man. It was a very rainy day here in Orlando. That was the longest auction ever. I was up, going to the gym. My dad's in town, so doing a lot of stuff, and I'm just like, oh, let me test out some stuff and like record it. And I'm like, yo, I went to the gym, come back, your stream's on. I'm like, what's going on? They didn't
I
chop
know.
it up. Yeah, that was. I don't know if that was a good or a bad thing. Maybe they just wanted to get it over with and just shoot the horse. I don't know.
Yeah, they went through over 180 lots. That's why the auctioneer was going so fast. And I think Phillips does a better job with the pacing of it. They break it out over 2 days and they add a little bit of panache to the presentation. And of course, you have Earl Backs and Marcello DeMarco and Tiffany Toe. And there's eye candy and there's different accents and,
Yeah,
flair.
it's a show. It's a show for sure. I enjoy that
It's a show.
stream. Like I'm happy to like sit and watch and like. But a real good point you made: the speed in which they went over some of the lots, I think, didn't help at all. You know.
Yeah. Oral Backs knows how to drag it out and to add some of that puffery, like, find me another one. It's silly stuff like that. But yeah, this one and also the string of debatoons didn't help Christie's today because it just they all looked old and ugly, and it just seemed like they were trying to shove debatoons down our throat. Or did you feel that way?
I wish they broke it up a little bit. I don't think it looked ugly, but it was definitely not a not the most attractive lot. Hold on.
Yeah. So the new Oyster Perpetual here, the top, the 136 reference is on top. The old one is on the bottom. As you can see, the differences are the lugs, thinner lugs. It tapers down to a thinner lug on the new one. Then you have a bigger crown and you have a thinner domed bezel. So all those things just are small tweaks to make it look so much better. So, but they are exactly the same size. They look exactly 41. It's just that they brought those lugs in just a tad to make it look a little bit more elegant.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. Oh, that was a great line. Andy Lewis says, "When you're bidding in the Phillips auction, always remember to be respectful." I don't know if
Oh,
you
what
saw that
happened?
line. There was a lot that was going for over $1 million, and Oral or Arel, depending on how you pronounce it. Arel said something like, "Listen, let's keep the intervals to 100,000. Let's keep it respectful."
Hey, which is
You know?
true. Which is hey, and that's how you like. I'm telling you, if I'm selling something big, I want him doing it. I'll pay the extra fee, whatever he wants. Cause look at that. Let's keep it respectful. He challenges your manhood in front of everybody in the room, and
Exactly.
then like
That's exactly
so.
what he did.
So are you gonna be the small guy to be like, well, 75? It's like, oh, so really, and then he negged you some more, and then you end up doing 200. It's the best.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's true because once you break it into those step increments, it's harder to get further. So he knew what he was doing and he used this strategically on one particular lot because he wanted it to go to not get hung up at a lower level. So
He knew. I think he knew the climate in the room, and he knew he had to work. I like he came in at the tail end of the auction as well to finish up some really strong lots and make sure it ended good. And that would
he's the
seem
star.
bad.
He's the star. He's the star. He's not only the owner
Exactly.
of Box and Russo, but he's the eye candy.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love it when he says it in English, then he says, 4,000 or whatever the
Yes,
hell he is.
yes.
You know,
It's so wild. And then
he
you see
starts talking
Christie.
he starts talking in French, then Italian. You know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, it's well done.
You just went on mute, by the way. There you are. You're back.
On there. I got some noise in the background. I don't want to make it too bad.
It's okay.
But yeah, but then you go to Christie's, and then it's just a much different experience. The second guy at Christie's was much better. I like that guy. The first guy, but as you said, he had to speed through it. So maybe that's what I'm feeling.
Now, the second guy at Christie's, I've met him. The last time I went to a Christie's auction in New York, he was there, and Christie's. The vibe is just different. It's like it's a much smaller crowd, and it's less professional. There's less like video. It's less of a TV production at Chris. They don't put as much emphasis on the visual component.
The pizzazz. The pizzazz.
The pizzazz. They don't. Yeah, they don't have a technical director. saying, take 2, take camera 4, take camera 6. It's like you do at Philips. Yeah, I encourage everybody to do once in your life. Go, time your vacation in Geneva or Hong Kong or New York when there's
Or Dubai.
or Dubai when there's an auction going on. It's a lot of fun, especially in New York. It's the same time every year. Like this December, the first week of December is auction week, and everyone comes to New York and hangs out. So have fun in New York. Come, and we'll give you a personal tour of the auction.
It's always
Thomas
fun.
Burnett in the chat. What's up, Thomas? Thank you for the link to the news piece or the Instagram puff piece about the Pistachio Oyster Perpetual going for 20,000. Of course, it's brand new. I can see it going for a high price. What do you think these will set up? What do you think the hottest one will be of these three? Keeping in mind, CQ, that they're only available in certain sizes.
What's the 41s? Just a pistachio?
41s are black, silver, blue, pistachio, beige, and green. No lavender in the 41.
Such a miss that the lavender and the candy pink. Such a miss not to do it in 41.
Isn't it though?
Yeah. Oh, come on. They're ladies who enjoy bigger watch. You know what I mean? And they're people who enjoy all sizes of watches.
That was your angle.
Listen, I like to sell watches. You know what I mean? So I want all the sizes.
What about the LMGBT plus community? They would go for lavender and pink in 41, right?
Yeah, exactly. Listen, on the right day, right Easter day in a right linen suit, you could catch me in lavender. I'm not afraid. I'm not scared, So
pink looks by the way, pink looks particularly good on my extremely tan skin.
Oh, I could see it.
I would rock a pink shirt, not a hot pink, just like a pastel pink.
Yeah,
and that
like,
pink OP.
I could see you like on a derby day with like a nice hat. I could see that with a julep. I could see it. I could see with the julep. I need it now. I need to see that.
A mint julep.
Yeah, I want to make that happen. I want to go to Derby next year. Get a little julep out there.
That was last weekend, right?
That was last weekend, and the Preakness is next week.
Do you know that because you've gambled on those, or you've actually been?
No, so my my family we do horse racing in the islands. So my dad's into it, and and so we always kind of watch and stuff like that. Yeah, so if there's ever like good horse racing down there again, I'll be involved, and we'll get some of the guys down there and do something fun.
Keslowitz says, I don't know which one I like better, the beige or the pistachio. Yeah, I mean, they're both colors that don't really go. I mean, I guess they could go with a khaki outfit.
Ooh, I didn't think khaki. A good khaki outfit. You're good, OC. You're stylish.
Yeah. I mean, the beige is the beige climber. Like I think of Ben Clymer wearing the beige.
You say it, and at first I was like, "Is that a slight?" But no, it's kind of the vibe, right? You got this. I mean,
on, it is what you make of it. TQ.
Listen, you got this on. You got the vintage driver gloves on. You got a good Porsche outside. You're driving somewhere. It's like, yeah, I can see it. I see exactly what you guys say in that one. But I like the blue. The pistachio is good, but I like that off navy blue for some reason. But the pistachio is going to be the one that goes for whatever. But I don't think nothing will ever touch a turquoise. Everything will just be in its shadow, And in this market, Lord knows, I don't know what anything's going to go for. Seeing this auction today and just seeing like those strings, I don't even keep saying it, but seeing certain watches hit what they hit, it was just like, I didn't have enough coffee. I wasn't ready for it,
Yeah, it was interesting to see some lots go for way, way high prices and other lots kind of apparently fall flat on their face, even though they really didn't fall that bad. They were just not as great as they could have been. Like the that RM27 that reached Rafael Nadal. Let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah,
This one.
I don't know where they wanted that to go. I don't know where the
That isn't a bad result, right? I mean, it's basically 1.5 million US dollars.
I just
Not
think
bad.
super heavy guys aren't like, you know what I mean? Like, who's driving up the price on this? It's a great watch. It's a great watch. I'm not saying it's a bad watch, but like, what's gonna make me go to 2 million, versus taking that $2 million and not trying to get it directly from RM and doing what I gotta do. That's the problem we have when we hit that range, is like maybe you can't get this exact watch, but like a couple million, they'll find something for you that you like,
Mm-hmm. Yep. I got Captain in the chat. Captain says, get both. Kelso.
I agree.
Captain also asks, did the Debitoon Titan Hawk flop? That's a good question. Let me do a quick search here.
So I don't know if flop is a word, because there is a dealer who has one, I think at 55, and I think after everything it probably ended up somewhere around there. I might be wrong though, but I also might be right. So I'm willing to bet on myself. But I've been
There
wrong before.
were 2 Titan Hawks. Let me see if I can pull them both up here.
I think he means the JPS. That's the one I'm talking about. The John Player Special.
I'm assuming that it's not this one. Oh, it's this
Yeah,
one?
Yeah, it's this one.
Okay.
Sorry, I was looking at the wrong screen.
There's a blue one and there's this one. And this one.
Oh, so maybe I was wrong.
35,000 Swiss francs, which is approximately 45,000 US when all is said and done. That's low?
Yeah, it's low. There's one on Chrono, I think in the 60s or 70s. Somebody has their 55. Yeah, I have a guy with one too. It's a great watch. It's a great watch. But this is one
ugly.
time
This is
it's
a terrible watch. Ugh.
It's an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste. So I've always said about Debitoon, you're buying more in this. You have to really like the aesthetics, but also what's going on, behind the hood, how everything's made is what you really fall in love with. But the people who often buy certain watches aren't, they're buying the cover, not the book. And this is what happens. This is what happens.
What is this insignia here above the Roman numeral 11? What is that exactly?
That's 55. Is it not 55, sir? Oh, don't.
Is it? I'm asking questions. I'm asking questions here, CQ.
That's a 55, sir. That's a 55 in a stylized font. Okay.
Interesting stylization.
Well, you never know. When we look at the histories of font and things, we never know why certain fonts are different.
Mm-hmm. And then there was also there was also a blue one.
Oh, the Knicks one! Wow.
Is that the third game? Would they win the third game?
Yeah, right. Yeah, 3-1.
Oh, it was that game. Okay, so they so it's 3-1 now. That's good, and they're playing the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Who are they?
Wow, 121 to 113. Yeah, Celtics 3-1. That is insane.
Well, it's just not Boston's year this year, and on so many levels.
Yeah.
When you think about it, Boston is just not performing.
I should have bet on Knicks.
Boston,
put them down.
Yeah. New York Crew, on the other hand, is performing very, very well. By the way, we'll be doing an unboxing here, CQ, on probably a surprise unboxing on Friday, probably around 3 or 4 p.m. Eastern. And it'll be a watch that has not been unboxed on any channel.
No way.
Yeah.
On any channel?
On any channel.
People don't give this channel credit for the things that happen here.
Yeah, they do. This is the best.
Right,
they know.
Okay.
They do. Right. They know this is the best channel. Everybody knows.
I'll stop.
Elgistron is in the chat. That's James Caan's jersey number from Rollerball SS. Thank you.
55.
55. Sorry, Boston crew. Got Matthias. Matthias in the chat. Member of OC channel. Captain, go Knicks. That's right, baby. I'm not even a fan of the Knicks, but whatever. If it keeps the hoodlums off the streets and selling concert tickets and sports tickets and counterfeit shirts, whatever, I'm all for it.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I'll get your angle.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
The ghost of Patrick Ewing. Jump on the stream, Captain. Anybody is welcome to join. I'll drop the link one
Pick a
last
different
time.
watch to look at this.
Okay, hold on a second. I'll happily pull it up. Boom, there's the link to the panel. Yeah, which lot do you know?
You want to talk about that Cartier? That was pretty early.
No. The crash?
Yeah, the crash.
Yeah,
what do you think about that?
It's a very high price, right? Super high price.
But couldn't somebody in theory get that watch made if they're already a very, 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 very good client of Cartier?
Get it made?
Yeah, because remember the whole thing about their NSO program is they won't not make that watch. If they make something custom for you, they're not saying they'll never make it again. And remember, that's the whole issue. That's why they're stopping the program. But if I'm already a heavy client, I'm just requesting that watch. And I'll just be like, I won't show it on Instagram for a couple of years, whatever. So it's not truly ever piece unique. I may be wrong. Somebody correct me.
To me, the issue with the crash is just more visual. It reminds me of that dumb movie, like I Know What You Did Last Summer or whatever it was, or Scream, and the melted cheese look. And a lot of people have the artwork. You might even have a piece like this in your office, CQ, of like the Daytona that's melting, the dial it's dripping. You know, I was gonna say hate, but I don't hate anything. I just loathe and despise. But this, I mean, I get it. This is iconic. It's different. Everything Cartier does is iconic in some regard. So I get it. I get it. But no, I mean, I don't love.
You want to spend?
This is great for a woman. Great for a woman because, and I mean, Watch Falcon has several of these. He loves these. I think he has 2 of them. He's always pushing the crash.
Big crash guy. I wonder if
he's a crash guy. I think he has to, well, maybe, I don't know. He likes super rare stuff. Super rare only. Marcelo time. Speaking of super rare, Marcelo's in the chat. Marcelo has a white gold Le Mans. How the hell did he get it? How did he get it? How did he do it? I have no idea.
Good relationships.
That's something that Marcelo definitely has.
Or maybe he got lucky.
Or he got lucky. I don't know. Or he was just extremely annoying. I can't imagine that though. I bet you he was fun and foolish. He was fun and foolish. Camera on or camera off? You in the back room? You want to do camera off? That's fine. All right, cool. Yo, Cap, what's up?
Yo, OC.
How you been, brother?
What's up, CQ?
Nothing.
What's popping, Cap?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, sir. How are you?
Cap's a regular on the Watch Hangout, which is one of our affiliated channels here. The Watchverse or whatever you want to call it, the Dramaverse.
Affiliate link.
Is there any particular
Colony? I follow Colony rules. Did you see? I did a little unbox to virtually no people yesterday.
Where was that?
On the Hangout.
Oh, come on! You should do all unboxings here, unless they are of a brand that's not one of the big 4 brands.
No, this qualified. And I even said that it qualified for a Colony. I was within the rules of the Colony. It was a Rolex.
Do you have it with you?
I do.
Let's see this. Let's see the bad boy.
All
Show
right.
the people.
I did
Show the
want to
people.
ask, in terms of the auction, right? And by the way, I agree. Those two DB Titan Hawks are not the Titan Hawk that I was thinking of. They are not the most aesthetically attractive
No,
for
they're
me.
not.
To me,
Yeah, to each their own, you know. Acquired
exactly.
taste.
Everyone's different, right? This hobby is.
I think if you have a bigger wrist, they look good on you.
But CQ, I want to
Uh,
ask you while I have the opportunity.
Sure.
It is my pleasure and an honor to share the panel with you, sir.
My pleasure and honor to share a panel with you, sir.
Thank you. Urwerk, because I've been liking Urwerk. I was into Debatoon for a while. This goes back to the Watchbox. I don't even know when they were him and Tim and I think who was it? I don't know if it was Jason or I forgot the gentleman's name, but
Josh and Jason.
Josh.
Yeah.
They were all over Debatoon way back when.
Yeah, early we tried, man. We tried to get a few people before the,
I know. But lately I've been into Urwerk.
Okay, which one do you
which
like?
is the German pronunciation of Urwerk, by the way.
That's right. Urwerk.
Mhm.
I like the UV. What is it? The UV is 100 or 1000. The purple. I don't know if they call it the purple haze, but the ultraviolet. The ultraviolet.
Yes.
I love that watch, and I know someone who is a dealer. I'm not going to mention his name. That a few months ago, they could not get rid of that piece.
Yes.
They could not sell it, and I want to say CQ. It was, I think, they may have been asking under 40,000.
Oh wow.
I know, and
Wow.
I'm kicking myself because that sounded, when something sounds too good to be true. Even though that's a lot of money, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but let me tell you something. I had a conversation with a guy, a dealer today. I was trying to help somebody with a trade, and he at first he didn't know I was in the business, and then I told him I was in the business, and then he's okay. I just independents aren't selling, and certain watches aren't selling.
Right.
This is a beautiful watch. This is a great watch, and one day this will probably catch fire again. But I could see a dealer who's not specialized in selling this watch not being able to move this and willing to let this go for just to help pay the bills,
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think you nailed it. Because they're like, either we have this sit here that we can't move, or we get liquid. We need a little liquidity, get us through, maybe the month.
You got to pay bills, you got to pay payroll, you got to everything. Life comes, and you keep looking at this freaking purple Urwerk, and you're just like, I need to get rid of this thing. That's what happens sometimes, right? Sometimes there's watches or jewelry that a jeweler loves, and he's like, okay, it's a lucky thing, and I had this inside my first store. I could never sell this darn thing. And sometimes people offer on it, like, no, this is my lucky thing. And then sometimes there's the watch, it just gives you the ick, and you're just like, I gotta get rid of it. I love this watch, but you got to be a specialized dealer to be able to sell these watches. You got to know what you're talking about, and if you're not that type of dealer, people aren't coming to you for it. If they're not coming to you for it, you got to price yourself aggressively. And this year, if a dealer or somebody knows that's a real person, that's not a wackadoo, and they're giving you a good deal and you like the watch, take it. I think this year is going to be just look at the auctions. You know what I mean? Nobody could have told you those auctions would have been like what they were. After Phillips, after you saw what was cooking, and you're like, okay, some stuff was soft, and then even forget the Debatoons, a bunch of stuff, and you go into the independents, and a big tell is Dufour and Roger Smith. Somebody said on Instagram, these were $1 million watches last year and a half ago, and now nowhere near that.
Nowhere near
so
that. Correct.
That is so to see the Simone Brett do very well is interesting, but that was the first one to the market. I think a lot of these independents who've been, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting right now. But yeah, you should take, if a deal like this comes up, you take it.
Yeah, I wasn't ready to pull the trigger on it because it's a little, it's out of my comfort zone.
Of course,
not in terms of the price, not so much as the brand. Like if this is a Patek Philippe, I feel safer.
For sure.
That's just me. I'm not there yet, in terms of the indies and I don't know where, I figure there has to be some level that there's support for people. The
The thing is, Cap, like this is a brand that I remember most of us collectively, like because we do tend to have a herd mentality about some of these things. 3 years ago or so, 3 or 4 years ago or so, this brand was laughed at a lot.
Yeah.
And now, over the last year and a half, not so much. People
I
are
know.
more like, holy shit, you know what? This is kind of cool. Is it that we got used to crazy watches that sell for $100,000? Or is it that we felt priced out of the Richard Mille market? And this is, wacky and technical and, shows the time in a weird way. And it's all that stuff. And you look at things in a new light. But certainly 3 years ago, this brand was laughed at over and over again. And now it's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not scared to like this.
Well, and I follow, Urvik on Instagram, and there's plenty of people who love them, right? And you probably met at Watch Time. Who was it? Martin Fry?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the co-founders, and I think who's the other one? Felix Baumgartner, I believe. And it was just nice meeting a watchmaker and see how passionate they were when they were describing the functions. I'll never use the functionality of this piece. I can barely understand it. I know, not the star wheel function or whatever folks call it, but similar to the star wheel, by AP. But, they tell time. I think this does the earth time and some other time.
Oh yeah, that's stuff. No, nobody's looking at that.
No one's
Nobody
looking at that.
But
these guys are so passionate about it, and they don't make a lot of watches either. You're in rare air there, like where it's unique. You go somewhere, what is that? No one's, not many people, in fact, very few are going to have this watch, depending upon where you go.
No,
probably nobody would where I go, but
it's a very collectible brand because you're right. They don't make a lot, and it's people laughed at it a few years ago, and Michael Jordan was one of the early ones on it, which is funny.
That's true.
I think what happened for a lot of these independents is like Jordan happened, COVID happened, and people, the support was there. A lot of dealers were willing to support and invest in these brands. The one issue every brand has is a secondary market.
Yeah,
and they don't want to talk about it, and a lot of these brands don't invest in it. And why all the independents haven't come together and made some secondary market dealer for independents to support their pieces, I don't understand. And that's what happens because when you leave pieces like this, these are pieces that were created out of love and passion, and it meant to go to people who like funky, passionate things, but they end up on the shelves with dealers who don't really care what they are, who would sell cornflakes if the profit were the same. You know what I mean? So when that happens, not just saying the dealer you're getting, but still you get the point. That's what happens. Like you get these watches with people who aren't really there to support them, and you got to pay bills. But the brand themselves are also not supporting their own secondary market. So it's hard to. Where's the floor? Nobody knows. Especially in a time like this, is like the floor is low, and then the economy and everything gets better, then it's high again. Maybe a few right people start wearing it, and then it's on fire. And again, they're making less than in the hundreds of pieces, so it wouldn't be hard for this to be sold out, over retail, blah blah blah. But on the flip side, if there's nobody to support it, you could get a great deal.
Real quick, I want to thank Vimal for his flamingo blue highlighted comment. $2 Canadian. Would this look like a regular watch on mushrooms? That's right. If you were loaded on like Molly or shrooms or something, would this watch look perfectly normal to you? Great question.
No.
Nobody here partakes, so we can only answer that hypothetically.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Brian, $2.79 Canadian, another flamingo blue comment. Aha, now I can't unsee it. The Scream mask. Correct. That's the Scream mask. It will always be the Scream mask to me.
Darn, why did you do that to me? I hate you.
I know. Buckley's in the chat. Buckley says, what kind of shit you all talk? We're talking about the new Beige Climber. The new Beige Climber, which is the new nickname for the Beige OP. And there's also a Pistachio and a Lavender. Which one do you like? We don't have a poll, but that's what we're just chatting. We're just chatting.
I like the Beige Climber. I'm going to be honest. I quote unquote registered interest, which I love that term, for the Beige Climber and for the Pistachio. And I'd have to say, if I were to be allocated one of them, I'm hoping they tell me it's the Beige Climber. I like his style. I like kind of the vintage vibe that Ben
Everyone likes
puts out
the
there.
way how Ben Clymer dresses. You know, the
I
overuse of
do.
corduroy, the use of velour elbow patches, the thick sweaters, the 4 or 5 layers, the shoes with the sneakers with the white socks, the white tube
Well,
socks with the blue
that I wouldn't
stripes.
do. I would not go that far.
You know,
Yeah,
and then rocking a beige, a beige climber on the wrist with that.
He's got a sweet golf swing. He's got a golf simulator in his backyard, hitting balls into some farmland. He's got a vintage, or probably multiple vintage Porsches.
Hey, sounds great to me.
I don't know, man.
I'll take
Maybe
it.
little envious maybe is coming through, but hey,
I think the beige climber is more practical. I think it matches more things. Think of it like it matches the make like you're wearing a linen shirt, or you're wearing maybe tan pants, or you're wearing like cargo shorts in the summer.
Picture it.
You know,
exactly. The summer. You're on the beach. You got you got the what did you say, OC? You know, all the materials. Those shirts.
Yeah,
that are
corduroy,
like the
linen
white,
and corduroy.
the linen shirt. You know, you got some linen pants. Maybe I actually have a pair of beige, like summer, like on the beach type of. You put them over like a bathing suit or whatever, and you have this watch on. The beige, or any of these actually would work.
Now you kind of sold me on the beige. I'm not even the more that we talk about it,
I'm telling you.
I'm like, it wouldn't be, I feel like I wear the beige, I don't get in trouble. The cops don't pull me over, maybe. I don't know. Like, come on, man. I got the beige. What am I doing?
What could I be possibly doing that's criminal if I'm wearing a beige?
Sir, I'm wearing the beige climbers. I don't know if you know, but go on Reddit real quick and just check it.
That's right. It's by the way, the shade is very similar to what you might find on a Nomos. So I'm not a hoodlum, right?
You show him a picture of Ben Clymer and say, "Hey, look, he wears the same watch. He's wearing the beige. I have the beige." And I'll be like, "Oh, Ben Clymer, okay."
He might know.
Yeah, I don't think it's boring, Buckley. I don't think it's boring at all. I think this is actually
It's not.
It's not. It's a muted, casual, sophisticated yellow. It's in the yellow family in a way. It's almost like a mix between that mustard yellow and a tan. And there you go.
It's more wearable and actually that mustard yellow is my favorite. OP color. I like the Tiffany too, or not Tiffany. I shouldn't say that. Strike that. Turquoise, please.
Blue.
The robin's egg blue.
Oh, I want to use that. Yes, the robin's egg blue.
I have to give JJ, who's the host of the other show, the other channel that shall remain named.
No, watch hangout. We're not.
Look at that cross promotion.
We welcome competition. Competition in the time slots.
There's no competition in the watch community. It's all kumbaya. It's all about the hobby.
Welcome, come back, JJ. Come back.
JJ, come back. That's in the past. We move forward.
Always.
Beige is a neutral. Will match almost everything that's also a neutral. See, Buckley knows fashion sense.
He does.
Like he reads all those fashion magazines, and
absolutely,
he's a big fan of like Laura Piano and all these.
Okay, now I see it.
Yeah, he knows. So, he's the one who's wearing the loafers, like those $1,000 loafers that are like suede that you can't wear in the rain, stuff like that. You have to wear them with like the invisible socks or no socks at all. So.
Could you wear this beige every day?
Yes, in the summer.
Why
not? There's no date. See, in the summer you don't care what day it is of the month because you're on vacation the whole month. Like all of July you're on vacation. So I'm still not a fan. Still not a fan of the double baton, but
It's very jarring.
Touch.
I'll be honest. It's very jarring.
There's the entire Oyster Perpetual chart, which is super convenient to see all of them there. It's amazing how many colors they have. Someone's quickly counting how many. Quickly, how many are there? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm getting the
5,
blue.
6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Is it 8 or 9? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 9. It's a lot of colors.
As it should be, right? It should be a lot of. This should be the most available, like, watch. I like.
Yeah.
Like what?
This used to be a dog, like but when I got into the hobby, like right before the 2020 revamp came out, those were dogs. They used to make fun of it, like, ooh, look at this one's called the red grape.
I don't think I
know,
touched.
and
You barely touched them.
You barely touched them. One was fucking, steel or rhodium with periwinkle loom plots or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Which is nice. It's a nice watch,
And now it's nice. And I and there was a blue, and then there was famously the white one in 2019. But then they turned the dog of the lineup into a star, kind of like what they tried to do with the Air King, but failed miserably.
No, it just couldn't do it, right? They tried very hard, but just couldn't.
They tried by adding a 0 on the 5.
That can't be saved. The only thing that could save the Air King is like a remake of the entire thing, and to start over, and just chuck the dial, and just start from scratch. Just let it die.
Nah, they'd move on.
My opinion.
No, you're right. They move on.
You know what I like though? Actually, the silver. If you just want one watch, what about a silver OP? What's wrong with that? And they should make this available to like anyone maybe not anyone who walks in, but if you have some relationship with your AD, you should call and say, "Hey, I want the beige." No problem. No problem. I want the pistachio. It's summer. Hook me up.
Right.
You want candy pink? Hey, I'm not judging. Wear it. Rock the candy pink.
That lavender is gonna sell crazy. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, that thing's gonna go crazy.
You know what it is too? CQ people with they'll reach for the 36 and say, I could pull this off, even if they have like 7.5 inch plus wrists. There it is. Oh, there he is.
But what color would Ben wear? Look at this room. Look at the pants. Look at the desk. It's not called the beige climber for nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
That
watch would look perfect. It would just blend in.
But wouldn't it though? Wouldn't it right now like be like, wow?
Yep.
He just always looks cozy, like I'm a big guy, so I can never imagine all the sweaters and layers that he does. But like,
I'd be sweating.
Bro, I'd be like schwitzing all over. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
got
he does
Sammy
it well.
got Sammy in the chat. What's up, Sammy? Got Brody in the chat. What's up, Brody? He's a member of the channel. All right, we're approaching 50 people. People must be completely starved of content on this Monday night. Which is
OC.
Yeah.
You want me to show the watch?
Of course, yeah. Let's do it. I forgot.
Okay. Well, I had to throw on a hoodie. There we go.
Looking good.
Actually, I was thinking about the knowledge glasses. These are Oliver Peoples. Your favorite brand.
Oliver Peoples. That's right.
Some other weird brand. I can't see in these.
Endorsed by OC.
I'm going to go with the knowledge. These are knowledge. They're called knowledge, and they need to be adjusted. They're way too. Okay. How ridiculous do these look, huh? Okay. So I'm just gonna show the piece. Ready? It is a Rolex. First of all, OC, any guesses? Oh, look at this. Whoa.
All right. So yeah. So I actually haven't seen this piece.
Do you have any guesses? Or do you know what it is?
It's an approved piece, so
It's Air King.
Could be another Rolex. I'm not sure.
It's a Rolex. Is it me or is OC frozen on screen?
I think OC's a little frozen on screen.
Am I back? Am I back?
You're
Yeah,
back.
there
Okay,
you
you're
are.
moving your
There
head a
you
little bit.
Yeah.
Let's have a
There.
George Bush impersonation.
There we go.
I'm back. No, my Wi-Fi is terrible right now. So if I cut out, just run the show without me. It'll be much better, anyways.
You're laggy, OC.
Yeah, I think his
All
Wi-Fi
right.
is out. You
Okay.
you go, Cap. You go. It's
He's
me
the
and you.
master of ceremonies, man.
Yeah, nah. We fired OC. It's okay. You're the guy now.
All
You're
right.
the captain now.
The captain
Go
now.
for it.
So, CQ, what you don't know, so I have a couple of Submariners.
Okay.
I have my OG, which is a watch I got in 2000. I put them all away, or else I'd show it. It's just the 16610 Swiss only dial.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, that was a watch I wore basically most of my working life in Manhattan. And I wore it. I wasn't really into collecting back then, but I wanted a Rolex and I wanted the Submariner, and I got the one with the date. I got the sub date at a Rolex AD in New York. Wore the shit out of that watch. Still own it. Have the papers. Lost the box. Never selling it. And so I've always been kind of partial to the Submariner. And then I picked up a Hulk at an AD. And there's a story behind that. I got super lucky. It was kind of a walk-in, and I was looking for another Rolex, and I just happened to be able to get that. Yeah, that was a unique story. She had gotten burned by someone who was flipping, and I walked in and established just kind of a rapport, and it was my one and only watch that I got from that AD.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was
Love
in
that.
what? Yeah, I know. It was a great story. It was like 2018.
Oh
So,
wow.
Yeah, I know. Before
All right,
COVID,
Cap.
but yeah, things were moving. The market was actually going up before COVID. I mean,
right before COVID just became the gasoline, but right before it started to really kind of like, started Daytona just kind of go up a little bit. Yeah.
So I've been searching and hunting for this piece or a variation of this piece, aluminum bezel, steel sports watch, a cousin of the Submariner, in that line. And without further ado,
yeah,
got a Sea Dweller, the 16600.
Beautiful condition. Good
is
job.
that known as the Sea Dweller 4000? Is that what that one's called?
No. This is 1998. Full, with box and papers, and this is pre ceramic. So this is before the version you're talking about. I think you're talking about the one right after it.
Right. Yeah, with the 4000 would have no holes in the case as well. But this is really nice, Cap. I love the condition in this. Full set too. Good job.
Holes case. I'm sure it's had a polish in its lifetime.
Yeah, but still good. They're not poking out.
Yeah.
You did good.
Yeah. Thank you. So picked
Congratulations.
it up. Thank you. Oh, I love this thing. It was it's tight. So I'm getting they're sending me at least one, if not two more links, just so I have an extra link. Yeah. So I'm really happy about it. But I was looking, and I don't know if CQ the whole. I was looking back to the original Sea Dwellers initially. And the first version that came out, I think the what was it? The 16? Is it the 1655? Now I can't remember.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think it was the 1655, the double red Sea Dweller. I was looking at those, and I was looking at the next iteration, which was the 666, the 16660. And they're tough to find now, especially with papers, and the bracelets aren't as, this is not, obviously this is still hollow links, but it's more solid than the older versions. And
exactly.
And they're tougher to find. So
people are hunting them, people are, everything else is so expensive. So what do you collect? You start collecting 5 digits, you go, those dealers in Japan are probably holding anything that's super clean is probably finding its way over there as well. Yeah. And it's still like what you're collecting is like the prime example of something you can hunt, you can find a full set on, and you're not breaking your back too much finding it, and you're not breaking your bank too much, getting into a good one. So it's
Yeah,
nice.
you're right. I hit the usual suspects, and then just
And
for
also,
good
is
measure,
it part of the charm, the fact that it doesn't have the Cyclops as well?
100%. Yes,
Mhm.
that kind of was a big part of it, OC, actually, because it's just clean, and also I just like the fact it's it's what Rolex does best in terms of the technology and the depth, and it was for saturation diving back then when people were wearing watches for diving, and I like the fact it shows that history, 1,220 meters, so it's kind of like the current iteration with the depth rating on this thing. 4,000 feet. No one's going to go more than, even if you dive recreationally, you're not going, more than 50 feet or 100 feet at best. But it's just the idea that this can do that. So I kind of like that aspect too. It's substantial on, I feel the weight of it, but it's easy to wear. Yeah, but the no date, no Cyclops. Oh, that was big.
Very, very cool pickup. Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
it's
Congrats.
Rolex, so it's definitely approved. I think this is now the either 8th or 9th consecutive Rolex unboxing in 2025.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty big streak.
Well, it's a flight to safety right now, as CQ was saying. We're we kind of feel comfortable. We go back to our roots, kind of what we're comfortable buying and what we know is, is as, I guess, safe might be the right word. I hate to use, that word. Because I look at it like when I buy a piece, how much can I lose? Like not like I'm gonna make anything on it, but what's my downside? So I kind of look at when I buy a watch, that's how much it costs rather than the actual cost.
Yep.
It's like if I sold this tomorrow, let's say it's 1,000 less. Let's say a dealer is going to be like, no way, I got 1 million of those. I'll give you 15 or 2,000 less. Okay, so I look at it like, oh, that was a $2,000.
You have less at risk.
Decision.
You have less at risk.
Yeah, that's exactly what you should do it. You do it the exact way, because it's all about mitigating risk, like not profit at all. Profit is like amazing, but it's all about what's your risk tolerance and mitigating that risk. That's like the perfect way to look at it. And it's a very tradable watch as well. Something like that, nobody will ever not take it. They'll say they have 1 million of it, but it'll still give you a number.
Yeah.
They'll never not give you a number on it.
Yeah, they'll always take it. And I had it pressure tested too, and they put it on the time graph where it's +3, they said, which is not too shabby, right?
Yeah, but change the gaskets though. Because the pressure make sure that the gaskets are fresh.
Oh.
Well, down the road, but if you're gonna go swimming with it, right?
I said that's a great point, because now you mentioned it. You're right. I had him pressure tested. I could ask we have a pretty good relationship because he was recommended. He's a friend of a friend. Yeah. So I don't know if they changed gaskets, but you're right, because I just had that on my sub that I was telling you about, and my local guy changed the gaskets, but he always,
it's an easy job. Yeah, it's not too hard of a job, but like if you picked up something and you're not sure exactly when they service it, where to service it, and you're gonna dip it in a few times, just have somebody look at the gasket, make sure it's not dried out. It's a quick thing.
No, you're 100%. I appreciate that, because I buy these watches to wear them, and this is definitely going to see water and most likely ocean at some point. Probably sooner rather than later this summer. That's beautiful too with the patina.
Yeah.
This is a tritium dial also. I went with the tritium.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it has no patina though. It hasn't patinaed yet. There's no lume and no patina. So,
you gotta put it in
kind of in limbo.
Somewhere.
What's that?
Yeah, you gotta put it like on a windowsill somewhere for a while.
Someone else mentioned that, and I was thinking about it.
It works.
How long would you have to do that to actually get like a year? Like, are we talking months?
I wouldn't know, but I'm sure if you go on some forums they have it. But I think it's months. I think it's depending how you're doing it. I think there's a few different things that goes into it, but I do think it's people do it. But research it.
Your example, Cap, has these Lume Plus, these kind of painted on without the frames around them, correct?
No, not correct. Mine has the mine has the surrounds. This looks like it is the prior version. This is a 666. I think
Yes.
we're looking at here a 16660, and in the 666, I think they made both versions. One with the surrounds, which is what I have, the white gold surrounds, and then one like this is a matte dial with nothing. It doesn't look like this has. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I don't see surrounds. So yeah, no, I don't have this one.
So it's more like this one.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. There you
Yep.
go.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the watch, but this has a Swiss made dial. So this is likely 2000 through the last year they made this, which I think was 2000.
1989 to 2009. I think this one is.
Yeah. This would be in that second half from 2000 to 2009 because they switched over from tritium. You see it says Swiss made on the bottom. So that is going to be Luminova or Super Luminova.
Gotcha. If you want to learn all about the Sea Dweller, I'll give a shout out to Hodinky. I'll drop a link in the chat. They did a big article about the whole history of the Sea Dweller, and you can check it out there. All the different versions, all the different variants.
I'm sure at some point in the journey, OC, because I was looking at every goddamn iteration of this thing pre-ceramic. I probably read that article, and I know that I watched, and I tell people, and I told people when I unboxed, if they want to learn more, also they can go to Fratello and just type in Sea Dweller. And there's one gentleman whose name I do not remember. He talks about why you should get a Sea Dweller over a Submariner, and it's like he basically captures it like you want it, and I'm going to tell you why you should get a Dweller over a Submariner, and he just makes the case like we talked about, the no Cyclops, the technology. He says because it's heavier. I don't know if heavier is actually a selling point, or it's thicker, and I don't know if that's. Look, I'm a sub guy anyway, so I'm not gonna tell people to buy a Sea Dweller over a Submariner, but it's certainly worth consideration.
I think so. I think they're great watches.
Great picks here too.
They made a ton of them. The one I have, OC, as you said, was a 20-year. It's probably one of the longest production runs in Rolex's history.
Yeah, 89 to 2009. It's crazy, unbelievable.
It's a lot of watches. I think they made according to. See, I don't know what to believe anymore with Perescope, but according to the Rolex, the Mariner book I have, it said they made 149,000 or something like that. Of this reference. So assuming that's true, that's a lot of watches.
Tons. Got MJ in the chat. MJ says, good evening all. Great stream, OC. Thank you, MJ. He's also a member of the OC channel. Thank you for being a member.
What's up, MJ?
Yeah. Tritium is not like chemical loom. It's a decaying element, meaning once it's decayed, it's done.
Yeah.
No more recharging it. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry. I knew that, but you can swap it out, I guess, and get if you wanted to, go down to where do you get service styles, OC?
Not 47th Street.
That's right. That is the correct. You are correct, sir.
Not there.
You are correct. I think the half-life on tritium, what is it, 20 years? But once it's dead, it's dead, as Gatsby said.
Along with the people who touch the watch.
Yeah, I mean, there is a risk of radioactivity, but I'm willing to take that chance for Rolex. I'm willing to take that chance.
Well, you made a good purchase. I mean, you've been eyeing it for a while. It's a good one. The no Cyclops plays a part in it to make that one just a off the beaten path choice, for a lot of people. The sub is a sub, and it's a great watch. It's iconic. It's good to get something that's a sub, but just slightly different.
Yeah. One thing, switching gears to that auction, one thing I was thinking about, and I guess I guess it was Phillips. I don't know if Chris, you said the same thing. So the tariffs applied. They said they were going to. The tariffs would apply, right, to the sales price of the watch.
Tariffs apply. Well, let's see. That applies, which is the value-added tax, applies to the hammer price and the premium. So that that price realized price is, I think, VAT applies onto that. The tariff, I'm not quite sure what it applies to.
Yeah, because what I've been hearing, and I don't know if this is true, is that on a new piece, the tariff would be on the cost, not like Rolex.
Correct.
Makes right the cost of the piece, the cost of manufacture, and not on.
No, it's the buyer. If the buyer is U.S. based, the buyer bears the cost of the tariffs. And I mean, if you're saying that it only applies to certain portions,
yes,
of
the wholesale
cost, the wholesale costs. But in this case, there's no wholesale cost. The auction price is the cost. Correct.
Correct.
DQ?
So most likely you'd probably have to even pay on the premium and like whatever your final is, you'd have to pay because you're still going to insure it for that amount. Maybe I don't know if they want to get I don't know how that works. I don't know how they work, but probably not. So you're like that's on. You're probably paying the whole thing.
For $100,000 watch. We talked about this with the Waco video, right? $100,000 watch. That's 10,000. Whereas you could fly to, in this case, it was Geneva. Get have a couple of nice, spend the weekend there, buy the watch, and I guess you'd have to report it when you come back into the country.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
of course you would.
Legally, you have to report.
Or as Waco would say, you have a great time. You put it on the wrist and come home.
Exactly. Or you can do what Arnold Schwarzenegger tried to do. Maybe it was a mistake when didn't he fly through Germany?
No, they were being. I think they were being a little handsy with him.
Yeah,
definitely. But like he was literally bringing the watch to an auction.
I know.
It's like. He's not smuggling the watch. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger Austrian auction. He's going on and it's like honestly, like that was a very weird situation. Maybe he got a little mouthy or whatever, but like in terms of you just traveling with your watch, I've never seen a situation where it's like you show them, hey, it's a gift. Technically, it's a gift. You know, like
he was gifting it for the auction, right?
Exactly. So like you couldn't even give them a value because the watch was an older watch anyway. So it's like what? Yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah, it was. So putting that aside, legally you declare it when you come back. But I guess see one thought I had, I actually don't think it probably doesn't hold water, but the U.S. market in these auctions, right, have to think about that tariff as things currently stand. And everything changes, as we know from what happened today. With I guess some sort of moratorium with the Chinese,
but not on the 10%
tariffs. Not on the 10%, right? So that the
10% isn't going away. So I've come to a realization.
Could that have had an effect, some sort of an impact on these auctions?
For sure. For sure, because remember, not only are just regular collectors on these auctions, dealers are on these auctions too. You know what I mean? So any U.S. dealer, it's immediately 10% more expensive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like it takes you out of a lot of those softer watches. You're like, maybe I'll buy it, I'll stock it, or this will be cool to flip. It takes a lot of you wanting to do risk. Maybe you're somebody who flies over, but it's really. It takes a lot of juice out of the squeeze, especially with the 26% premium. So and which watch was there that you couldn't just get? That's the issue with auctions, right? Which watch, even the Debitunes, like there was nothing that showed up I couldn't get. The Jorns were the only things you couldn't get, and that's why they went. And that's the issue. Is like there's inventory everywhere, so even the auction houses have to deal with it.
Got it.
But people are definitely traveling, and I definitely wish I was working in the Caribbean market right now because they're gonna be cooking.
Yeah. What would it look like if you went? How would you set that up? I mean,
Like as a dealer or something.
yeah. I mean, you'd be flexible, mobile. We just boom. We just head down there and start doing what you're doing, but just doing it from a different base of operations.
Yeah, but for me to fully take advantage of it, I'd need to have like the inventory coming through there. So in theory, I could do it, but I would have a beautiful little spot by the beach, man. It'd be like you'd be amazed. You'd be smoking cigars, slanging watches. It'd be beautiful. You know, the ocean has to be inside. If I'm in the Caribbean and I'm working, the ocean has to be that's in my rider. Like I have to be able to see the ocean, or else I will not sell. You know,
That's right.
but yeah, definitely in those markets they're gonna do very, very well, and I have a feeling brands are gonna start dumping inventory. So that's what I was thinking of, not even as a me do my own thing now, like me as a normal salesperson making 7%. If like the only issue is the Canadians aren't loving us right now, so they're not traveling as much and the currency is still a little bit soft. But if they were still going to the islands right now, it would be worth it, because the money would be like, I could sell all the Brightlands at 7%. Then you pop a paddock, and then you're like, you got 20 grand in 2 weeks, easy. The good old days,
Mm-hmm.
Now I just want a beige climber. That's all I
share you
want.
some fun stuff. My Wi-Fi is so bad.
Terrible.
You're freezing up on me.
Can you imagine selling these in the Caribbean, CQ? These beige, the pistachio,
all day.
Lavender. It would be like everybody who comes off the plane would be buying them. Like they'd be buying these like chiclets.
Oh yeah. So you know what's so funny? In the Caribbean, the one job that's hard to get is at the Rolex AD. People go in there 30. I literally 30 years. One of my friends just picked up something and he took a video. It's literally the same people, because it's so good. It's so good. There's a wait list, because it's just like, because you're getting more Rolex inventory than everybody, and it's just cruise ships full of people, and it's like instant money. Oh my god, I could cry. It's like you just show up and, oh, why do we have this genie? Oh my god,
I don't know what's going on.
It's
here.
my fault.
The genie is part of AP's, that's Audemars Piguet's House of Wonders, and they teased this last week, as you know, and today they've unveiled a new video about the fantastic House of Wonders. Should we listen to the music, or will we get copyright struck?
I mean,
into the heart of creation, step beyond the ordinary and into an immersive world where imagination takes shape. Meet a cast of artists, craftsmen, and engineers, and join forces with their creativity to bring mechanical marvels to life. Ready to dive in, embark on this adventure, the House of Wonders. As CQ might say, what the hell's going on here? What is happening?
I just wish I had a picture of Constant Kwong to put up, like one of his faces. I need to make some like memes of those. What the hell is going on? So you know the issue I have is, I'll be honest with you. I'll be real with you guys. It's, what time is it? It's almost 11. It's past 11. I'll be honest with you. It's I can't believe this is just jealousy, right? I went to school for digital media production. So when I see people just stealing money like this, it's like, why am I selling watches? What am I doing? I should be like, because the amount of money they spent to create this, because it actually looks pretty good for what they're trying to do, but the amount of money that they've spent to make this, you cannot in no way tell me it was worth it. The ROI is not here. The ROI is not here. You don't even see a Royal Oak. Show me at least a Royal Oak, okay? Like, let me complain about it being a Royal Oak video, but it's like aliens and it's like the genie and it's like,
yeah, but this is something on Instagram. I watched this and I don't know, man. I like the stuff that they're doing. Like, for some reason, I think their marketing is pretty good. Like, I have to say that at least it's appealing to me. Like, I see this, I'm like, yeah, I want to go check this out. Let me book a flight to Geneva. But I know, I own an AP. I know what AP, is kind of about. I want to learn, more about the history of OP. Go to AP, what is it? AP House, or is that what they call it in Geneva? Whatever that one is.
Well, there's a house and there's a hotel.
Like
there's an AP hotel.
Oh, the hotel. I heard that's uber expensive.
It's a hostel.
Well, see, in my opinion, right, Cap, they should be
I want to see this.
But they should be spending the money that they spend on this, sending you out to La Brazos, to the hotel. You know what I mean?
I'm okay with that.
I think you getting on a stream like this and just pouring out the great memories of, oh my gosh, they took me to the whole, they did this, they did, oh my God, they flew me out. I had the AP chocolate, I had the AP soup, I had the AP everything. They gave me an AP pillow because there is a pillow menu at the hotel, right? So like, I wish you had that experience versus this genie thing on the screen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah. You're watching this, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe the gazillions of dollars they're spending on this rather than, their customers or potential clients or current clients, getting them out to
exactly.
Geneva.
Now, if you told me this was cheap, if I knew that this wasn't like a very inexpensive thing, then I probably wouldn't care as much. But like, this is probably a good chunk of change.
Yeah.
And it's like, they don't even have the Royal Oak. There's not even a watch in the thingy. I don't know. I know.
Hey, look, I'm not into. It's not like I'm going out and buying cars, and I would never buy the cars watch. But I got to tell you, when they had, I don't know what they call that big. What was that giant balloon? That giant.
Float? I forgot you call it the structure.
I like the marketing that they did there as well. And then they had that. What do they call that guy, Mr. or whatever that was? Companion. They called it
the companion.
Companion, sitting on the top of their is that their manufacturer?
Yep.
In Les Brussels. I mean, that's pretty incredible. I would love to have seen that.
I thought that was cool. I thought the wooden sculpture that you could purchase, I wish I was included, but I thought that was cool as well. See, that I don't mind. I understand people saying that, oh, it shouldn't be that's a weird collaboration, but like, they could explain everything. Hey, we made a concept watch. This is the first time that we're going to tell time in this way. We did a very different way of putting the sculpture right up on the glass. Maybe not everybody likes it, but you could sell it to me a little bit.
Yeah.
You could sell me everything. You sell me the pillows. It looks good. I like it. I personally liked it. But this, I would just love to be in the room where they won the deal. Because I know, so as soon as I don't want to be in the room, excuse me. I want to be outside or in the bathroom. Right? I want to be in the bathroom sitting on the toilet so nobody can see me. Because when they're in the bathroom, they're just like, oh my God, it fucking worked. And the one guy's like, I told you they eat it up. I told you. And it's just like, we just made the most money of our life to make
now you could do that. Now you could seeing this, you could do this and then just, sell it to another brand out there. Now that that like someone will buy it. Someone will hire you or provide services to them. It's not
half of this is probably pre-built. That's the thing. Half of this is already pre-built, and because they showed it to somebody who just saw something shiny. I was like, oh my God, we could do this and we could do that, we could do this.
It's like Willy Wonka. It's like Willy Wonka meets Audemars Piguet.
Exactly. Now I say all this and maybe I do it. I'm like, oh my God, I love it.
Should we go comments? Some of the viewer comments. My understanding is that they do censor some profanity and things like that. But let's see what we got one here. Mr. G says, Boston Collector says, will the genie grant your wish for a Royal Oak? So that way people can get one at least virtually.
I was gonna comment on that, but I don't want to be rude. You know, it's the AP page. I was like, let me keep it to the chat.
Yeah. So cute, wonderful AP world. Aw. Damn, this ad is so good. Now I have to work 100%, 100 times harder to wear one of your arts. Interesting reactions here.
Yeah.
Targeting minors to buy luxury watches with cartoons. Why?
Yeah, that was an interesting take.
That's a good one. I like that. I can't see the takes because I'm not looking at the chat. I got this
New,
iPad.
New Warcraft expansion is lit.
It's OC's lagging out. That's why.
No, he is, yeah. But I literally have an iPad, and so I'm not running the chat. I'm not seeing it.
All right. Listen, it's been a fun show, guys. I want to thank CQ and
always a pleasure.
And Cap for jumping on. Still got 50 people watching, so I'll remind you to upvote the live stream. Make sure you're subscribed. Thank you to all the members. I mean, every single person in the chat is a member, which is awesome. So quick reminder, always, as Cap did, the reminder is to reach for the crown. And before we go, Gatsby. Yeah, Gatsby jumping in with a $10 Canadian super chat. If AP spent nearly as much time designing watches as they do on drug-inspired marketing efforts, they might have more than one model of watch that people actually want.
He ain't wrong.
Something to think about.
Something to think about.
Yeah. By the way, did you see CQ that I was that Watch and Nish got back to me? I'm not sure if you were on the stream, but Watch and Nish said, well, maybe am I allowed to say? I think basically he said something along the lines of like, it's tough. Like I'm delivering tough news, but they really should be hearing this more. Very few people are being courageous and speaking up against some of this weird marketing. And AP themselves, a lot of people at AP have said, like, at the end of the day, he's not wrong. You know, especially when you're doing parties, and Patek does it too. You invite all these influencers and these fashion types and flamboyant personalities to your events, and the collectors, the VIP customers, don't get invites. You know, I mean, what's up with that? I mean, I can understand how it's very, very frustrating and annoying, and that turns people off of the brand if they think that they're no longer respected and appreciated as a customer.
It doesn't feel good, man. It doesn't feel good getting snubbed on a date, seeing somebody else go, and like, you know, where does your money go to? Your money goes to that type of marketing. And then we're gonna end this. I love this, right? Because you always end with this video. And this video is done way less budget and is 1,000 more times impactful. I just, you know.
This is really good. Stirs the emotions.
It does. It stirs the emotions.
It does.
This is what Rolex and our hobby is all about. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Gatsby. Appreciate that last minute super chat. Guys, have an incredible week. We'll be back with you maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, maybe Friday. You never know. Peace out. Cap, congrats again, man.
Peace. Thanks, OC. Pleasure being on.
See you later.
See ya.
Reach for the crown, guys. Good night.